Okay, I know many of you are already thinking Vans sneakers. That every kid in the world already knows what Vans sneakers are. They're in every single mall. They're in, I think, Target, J.C. Penney. Again, we're not trying to always break new ground with every single video. But if you didn't see my video about the Converse shoes, I talked about, how they are not really the same shoes that you used to get 10, 15 years ago. They changed the quality by a significant margin. With the Vans, I can argue that the quality's been pretty consistent, at least. Now, obviously, the canvas top doesn't last as long as the Converse does with the rubber toes. Everybody knows this. They last, 2 to 3 months if they're your, primary shoe or whatever. And of course, I'm talking about the classic lace on. I showed this in a previous video. Talking about nautical footwear. So obviously, if you're going for a nautical look, blue or white will be your, kind of primary go-tos. Obviously, Vans comes in lots of colors and patterns and things through the years. I will touch on briefly, the upgraded Vans that I want to talk about this first and kind of get it out of the way before we talk about the more classic ones. Obviously, in the 80s, when these kind of became too not rugged enough to withstand the rigors of skateboarding and the pool style and whatnot, they introduced the boot kind of skater version. I never owned a pair of those. That I didn't like the seam across the toes. They still sell them. But somewhere I think in the 90s or so, I don't know that Vans was the first to do it, but you also said the rise of like Skechers and other brands where this kind of became the suede top alternative to a canvas top. So obviously these will last much longer. They still have typically the kind of skater shoe bottom, not always. Sometimes they'll have a different pattern, but will last obviously much longer. But these kind of became office casual appropriate. I'm not going to say that's wrong. Except a lot of guys just don't have any like better office shoes, or they don't have any better office clothes, so they have a strictly casual wardrobe and they never own any actual dress shoes anymore. I haven't really done a dress shoe video yet as such. I've been kind of putting it off on purpose. But I did talk about certain dress shoes and things in the Scottish kind of kilt footwear video. So if you're curious about some brands, I already discussed that a little bit in there. And so, yeah, you got a little bit more foam cushion here, a little bit more of a arch support, a bit foam in the tongue. I mean, this particular model has been, a little bit of sporty kind of, a little ventilation here, a little ventilation in the toe. This is probably, not a current model now. They change pretty constantly. So you find one that you like the fit of it, and then you never see it again. Pretty much all the companies do this, and I don't entirely know why. They don't just stick with, tried and true. But I usually, find them in kind of a neutral color like this if I'm going to wear it with, again, office casual sort of clothes. Like, would I wear it with this? Probably not. But if I'm wearing, kind of a shirt without a tie, you can get away with this, I guess. Whereas this would be too casual, almost, unless, like I said, you're really going for a kind of boat look. And then again, there's a cream version that will go with a lot more stuff, but won't look as nautical. But then once these are, filthy and not really white, they won't really look nautical anymore either. The thing I will say though about Vans versus Converse is I have never worn out the bottom of a sole of a pair of Vans like this. I have absolutely destroyed up here. I've had, the thing coming apart here a bit. Never had an issue with the outsole. And again, some of them come in blue apparently now, but traditionally this. So if the blue ones wear different than the brown ones, I don't know. But yeah, basically pretty much unchanged since the 70s or the 60s or whatever. And of course, might as well show it, even though there's, again, no, I mean, the lacing, I prefer the lace ones. Obviously, when these came out, the slip-ons, we all converted to them because we don't have to lace our shoes anymore. It'll take us that much less time to get ready for school in the morning, But of course, then you're playing kickball and it goes flying farther than the ball does when you're on the playground at recess. Whatever. Obviously, this is like the 1982. Everybody had to have them, and now they've come back all in the rage. And through the years, they've been different colors and different iterations and things. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's a totally casual beach shoe, as it were. And I mean, like I said, what kid doesn't already have a pair of these that I really need to explain them. But I can say with certainty that like a model or brand of similar imitators, such as Gold Toe, you have issues like this kind of thing that I've never had with Vans. You have the fact that the sole wears out faster than the top does, which again, I've never had happen with these. So I don't remember what I bought these for, but obviously I bought this for the pattern and just to wear with, certain outfits. And I would never make this my everyday daily shoe. Whereas Vans, again, if you make them kind of your primary everyday shoe, you'll have less of these issues, but this won't look so good. A lot faster. And, but you're not going to get quite this bad of disintegration just from being dried out, because I really didn't wear these that much for them to look this bad down and around. But again, obviously, Vans will get this kind of dirty, dingy. That's not going to be different. They start off white, they don't stay white. So yeah, just kind of a quick survey. Like I said, I don't expect that you don't know anything about Vans shoes. Okay.